Yeah, they seem to struggle with it, much like a lot of the teams. Something about HGC China,
Yeah.
a lot of the upper level teams and just some of the more older ones at least don't seem to be very good at Tomb of the Spider Queen here.
True.
We're going to be going instead to something a little bit more standard. We're going to the Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines it is, ladies and gentlemen. How is this series going to end? We're going to find out very, very soon. And I gotta say, I like this way more, because that was the game that SOA dominated on against Hot Lady. It was one of the most impressive showings I've ever seen by any team in HGC China. They went for a global composition with Falstad and Illidan, I believe, or Dahaka, I can't recall which one it was, but they never really faced Hot Lady in a straight-up team fight. They always played around the map, and then, of course, they finished this game with one of the most legendary gusts I've ever seen.
Oh yes, it was spectacular. Let's see if they can pull it off again. Bring the score to a 1-1. However, KT is going to earn some delicious, delicious points. Last time these two teams met, once again, this is a double rotation. The score was, in fact, a 1-1. So can SOA repeat the effort this time?
Oh yeah, and so immediately it's like, okay, we had our chance with the Gengu. It didn't really work, Shy. Unfortunately, we're not going to give it to you again. And we just banned that sucker out of the draft. Okay. I want to see Shy on a hero that is a little bit, you know, less risky to play. Like, the Greymane was really solid when he played on it. Greymane is a little bit tankier than Genji. He has a couple of defensive tools available, so I would much rather have him with one of those heroes. The Genji just seemed a little bit too much for him to handle, at least for now.
I like that the chat is like rooting for one of the teams to pull a Fnatic and just try and race the core, just so they can get to the teaser. Be patient, guys. It's gonna come. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Exactly.
It's not just a teaser. It's not even a full reveal. You guys are gonna have to save your energy for being detectives. It's all good. But now the first pick is going to be Arthas.
Arthas indeed it is, and the Greymane gets locked in plus the Dahaka. So a very standard opening, a very safe opening, and I think this might exactly be what SOA is trying to do here. Once again, trying to go for those split push mechanics, going for the globals, out-rotating and outsmarting their opponents, just like they did against Hot Lady the other day. Definitely like that approach a lot more. Greymane sitting at a pretty okay win rate, slightly below average, but look at the sample size too. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, 40 and 52. He is pretty popular, as it turns out. Because he's an exceptional hero, especially on this map. You get the cocktail value. I say especially on this map, just all the maps. You get cocktail value on the objectives, so you still get that. You get the war gun value in terms of team fights or burning down the Punisher if it is fighting without the assistance of a team.
By the way, Tetra, you know what I expect the trailer to look like? Or the teaser, I should say. There's going to be skeletons raised. They get destroyed by an ominous cloud. Excuse me, not a cloud, by ominous claws, which everyone is going to expect being belonging to a dragon. While at the same time, a starship in the skies is going to appear.
Just cover all your bases. Why not? Why not? That'd be cool. Or we see an undead Protoss dragon.
Exactly.
Coming in at the same time from above. It's all of the heroes together combined that everyone has wanted. But it also turns out while it's holding Gorehowl or something like that. There we go. We've covered all our bases that way. We're good.
All right.
Oh my God. Can you imagine undead Protoss dragon holding Gorehowl?
Oh,
that is terrifying.
Someone create that picture with Photoshop right now and tweet it at us.
Talented art people. Or untalented art people, we want to see all of it. Please show. Please make this. As we see, the Greymane was first picked along with Dahaka. Rhaegar and Falstad to follow up, so a little bit of global potential for KT there.
Yeah, there we go. And oh my God, speaking of even win rates or yeah, very, very huge sample sizes, there goes Falstad, a really, really popular pick as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't hate it. I can't hate it for sure. If we saw, like, if you remember Tank Ovo on the Falstad the other day against Hot Lady, he was, excuse me, it was Uncle G. His gusts were terrifying. And of course, you have the global counter to the Dahaka, just in case he does what Dahaka does. He keeps on pushing and devours minions and takes their essence into his own kit. I like it so far. I really do.
As do I. Looks really solid. We'll have to see how they fill it out, though. We'd still like to see a little bit more actual AoE for the objective. As SOA, they bring out a little bit of extra tankiness, and Tychus, the AoE for the objective, coming in the form of Odin.
Yeah, Odin, always scary to face. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Kharazim here. I really think that Kharazim has been neglected for too long. I'm pretty sure that one or the other player is already getting, slight aftermath effects here for being drained of the Kharazim for too long. And I think it makes a lot of sense here too. SOA, they've been known for great Kharazim play. In KT, I would love to see a double support comp here. Well, actually I don't. Falsa is not the typical hyper carry, so I'll take that back for KT. But for SOA, I would still like to see it.
He used to be. Not so much anymore. I think you can make him a hyper carry if you actually ran the Hinterland Blast and used it with like Johanna or something like that. But with Johanna out the meta and with Gus just having so much value.
Oh yeah. Sorry for the outburst. It's been a while since I last saw my baby boy, so
he's back, and he could totally go any of the builds here.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. We already have a main tank. The Arthas is going to fulfill that role. So prepare your manliest of war cries for a potential Colossus smash or get out the Twin Blades.
Win rate.
Yeah, really solid. Really solid.
Sweet indeed. Well then, we will have to find out what we end up going for here on this variant. Any build is viable for him here. He can go for the anti-shield to try and deal with a noob. He could go for this. He could go for the anti-heal to try and just burn down that Malfurion. Either way, I like it.
Yeah, I gotta say I like it too. And in terms of potential alternatives to the standard tank build, I think we might be able to see a Colossus Smash. Malfurion is not known to be the greatest of burst healers. He doesn't have a panic button like a Divine Shield or a Divine Palm. So I really think that a Colossus Smash can wreak havoc in the backline for SOA.
I like it. That sounds like a really good idea. We'll see if that is the case here. And for you guys in the audience, as we get ready for this second game, be sure to tweet at me and Kendrick, who both use Twitter. Sir. Kendrick, I believe your stuff is linked below the stream, actually, as well, so that's even more convenient for you. So be sure to follow Kendrick Swish on Twitter, and I am just Tetcher on Twitter, Tetcher. Be sure to tweet at us your beautiful art if you are creating these mixed hero arts that I'm seeing spammed in the chat right now. That sounds awesome. And be sure to let us know who you think is going to win this next series.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the decisive game here for the second series of the day between KT and SOA is going to take place on Infernal Shrines, and on the left-hand side, we have the men in blue. We have T-Die for KT on the Rhaegar, Neptune playing the Varian. We have Fury on his Falstead, Scene going for Kel'Thas once again, and Butcher on Arthas.
And on the right-hand side, in the red, it is start over again SOA with Faye on Malfurion, Uncle G on Tychus, Tank Ovo on Dahaka, Spark BZ on Anubrak, and Shy is playing the Greymane. Welcome to Infernal Shrines. This is game number 2 in our best of 2 series. Currently, KT with the 1-0 and Varian with the Parry Tarrant. Talent.
The Parry Tarrant. I like it.
The Parry Tarrant. As we forget how to use consonants correctly, we see the KT holding the mid lane for the moment. Was that already going to top lane very early? I'm not sure what he expected to do against the hacker up there this early in the game, when he could have soaked a minion wave here if his team were quick with the clear using that flame strike and flown up in time to still get those extra minions for a season marksman.
True, but as a result, both globals actually went straight up for the top lane, so nothing really was gained or lost. Now, once again, we see the Moonburn for Malfurion. That's, of course, also going to help against the skeletons upon completion, because once you have enough stacks, you also deal additional damage to monsters, and that is very, very cool to keep in mind. His wave clear is going to be through the roof. Now, Butcher in trouble gets assaulted by multiple SOA members, and he's going to fall because Arthas has no defensive tools available at level 1 here. Well done and well executed. It almost looked like Butcher was standing AFK there for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Really nicely done. He just got absolutely destroyed. He just got stun locked, hit E the second he could just to try and reduce any damage he could, but still got burned down. Very nicely ganked by SOA there, picking up first blood, looking for second. They found Neptune. The body blocks the field, and Neptune gets taken out.
And you could really see the great map awareness by SOA. They anticipated the rotation by someone that would go through that bush here, and they actually positioned themselves aggressively. They intercepted the rotation, and they made Varian pay with his life. And unfortunately, this time around, I can't even say he gave his life for the greater good. That was just a stupid death. Sorry.
No, yeah. He got caught on the rotation. It was unfortunate. It does happen. Let's see if he can redeem himself as the game progresses. As level 4 is going to be hit by SOA first, and they get a head start on the objective. You can see KT reacting to this in the most fair of ways. They just soak. They know they can't win the objectives, so they get as much XP and try and push up the other lanes. They've got the Mercenaries in the bot, and they try to get Fury, who they will do. And this is Nubrak. Really solid play so far.
Yeah, I gotta say, the CC chains are on point for SOA in this game. They look so much stronger than they did in Game 1. Their execution is on point. In the meantime, though, we see KT putting a lot of focus in the bottom lane because they realize, hey, our opponents are so far ahead, we are totally out of position, so we might as well just try to get value elsewhere. And so, on the other hand, they realize what KT is doing, and they're trying to pave the way for the incoming Punisher in the top lane. They try to get as much done here as possible so the Punisher won't be damaged by structures.
Falstad back for round 2. SOA out of minions, so Anubrak just spamming beetles, but they are out of abilities for Anubrak to spam. So they are going to pull back and prepare to push with this Punisher. In the meantime, KT going for another one, going for mid lane. 4-map push, going to be able to take down the front wall here, and they will kill SparkBZ.
Oh, SparkBZ,
alone. They just turn onto him, the rest of the team arriving just in time to save him.
Oh, this is looking really good for SOA.
Kate.
Oh, if SparkBZ makes it out alive, this was a picture-perfect engage. But even without it, I think they get KT T-die, maybe. Oh, my goodness.
They get him. 2 kills to 1. The objective already pushing. Falstad is defending it solo. He's doing an okay job with that. But this fort will go down. They pick up kills. They defend their mid lane. All is good. SOA looking solid right now.
Yeah, you gotta really give him a lot of props for the execution here once again. It might have looked borderline kamikaze style what Anubrak was doing there, but he realized, he knew that Dehaka was about to follow, and also Malfurion was close enough to keep him safe for a couple of seconds here. So good execution. If Malfurion had made it, excuse me, if Anubrak had made it alive, that would have been the icing on the cake. But even without it, it was a highly successful attack and really shows how much the communication in SOA has improved over game number 1. So really, really well done.
Varian sticking with the parry builds here all the way through. And Kael'thas once again going for that Sun King's Fury. So very mostly standard builds for what we are seeing these days.
I gotta say, I don't really like the Sun King's Fury on Infernal Shrines as much as I do like it on Tomb of the Spider Queen, because I think on Tomb we had way more narrow choke points. I think Infernal Shrines is a little bit more spacious, a little bit more wide open, so people actually have the chance to dodge the living bombs and prevent them from spreading. But, you know, it worked last time. Let's see if it can work again.
I agree with the argument purely just due to the fact that there's a double tank and a Greymane who is a bit more of a melee here, so that percentage damage is good. There's lots of armor that you can ignore with the percentage damage, including Odin, Burn Flesh ignores. So I don't hate that idea of, I think I would have preferred Burn Flesh on this map here as well.
Yeah, same here. Same here for now. But both teams still fairly even in terms of global XP, and that is all due to the fact that KT got so much value down in the middle and in the bottom, destroying so many structures, so you can really see it come to fruition here. Now they're trying... Okay, it looked like they were going for a gank on Falstad, but I think they just really wanted to have that mercenary camp.
Yeah, don't even know if they knew Falstad was there. They just went all in on it, like, get it quickly. We don't know who is here, but Falstad was like, oh god, and just got out of there as quick as possible. Yeah. Like I said, don't even know if they knew he was there, but he knew they were, so got out of there as quick as he could. Meantime, top lane getting pushed in a little bit. KT, once again, it's a familiar sight. Fury finds an entire enemy team. KT pushes another lane.
Yeah, and the Varian build still keeps us in the dark for now, because it could be the Colossus Smash, but it's probably going to be the taunt after all. With Colossus Smash, we see a lot of High King's Quest these days at level 1, which amplifies your insane melee damage even more that you get upon reaching Colossus Smash. So I wouldn't expect too much crazy stuff, but level 10 has been reached. Let's see. No, it's standard taunt. There we go.
Standard taunt, nice and simple. Just going for a bit of a sustainy team fight. They got Gus, they got Ancestral, they got Phoenix, they have Taunt, and they have Army the Dead. Whereas on the other side, also standard Cursed Bullet, Cocoon, Twilight Dream, Isolation, and the Commandeer Odin.
Yeah, now of course, SOA needs to be on their guard. They cannot lose anyone to a reckless variant engage. They need to be on the tippy toes. Tank over. He's trying to get out. Oh my goodness. Okay.
And down he goes. Well, Gus is not a long cooldown. It's not the worst heroic to burn to get a kill. The Root wouldn't have actually stopped the Burrow. So, at least I don't think Root stops Burrow, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so not the worst thing to use there. They get the kill. It's going to at least reduce some of the pressure, and Falstad can now stay in the bot lane and keep soaking to get KT back on even footing, which they have now done. Assuming that this Punisher does not kill too many structures, which it won't, they're in a decent position now.
Yeah, definitely a good use of Falstad's Mighty Gust there, because the death timer was long enough to prevent Dahaka from immediately burrowing in.
Root does apparently stop Burrow. I've been corrected by the chat. All good, thanks for the info. So, we are seeing KT clearing up the mercenaries as quick as possible.
There we go. Once again, nice hold by KT. They're still very close in overall XP. And SOA, despite having a very strong early showing with getting kill after kill after kill, they're now being slowed down a little bit. And I'm a little bit worried about that, because despite KT not going for a full Flame Strike build, his power spike in the latest stages of the game, 16 and 20 respectively, is going to be very scary to face. And especially with all that wave clear with Falstad and KT, it's going to be so hard for SOA to push in, because the minions are always going to end up dying very quickly. They now try to enforce and brute force their way in this middle fort.
Yeah, only one of the Impalators is actually attacking the fort, and that one is finished off by Varian. So it is now a defendable position. Fort not taking any more damage. No Mule available, though. It is just going to stay vulnerable. Cocktail even getting a little bit of poke.
In the meantime, you can see both globals soaking in the bottom and top respectively. That's why the XP is so close. And guys, the teams are not doing it on purpose. They just want to win or at least tie the series. So they're not keeping you on the edge of your seats on purpose just because you guys want to see the new trailer. Sorry about that. I know you guys want a quick, clean game, but I think we're going to have a longer one this time around.
Yeah, be patient, chat. Be patient for the teaser. It will come as we see KT pulling back, continuing to stay safe. Kale Fast just fully stacked his level 1 talent.
Here we go. Very important. Now the Arcane Barrier online gives him a lot more burst protection against the likes of Greyman, and Tyke is really solid tool to go for. Isn't it funny to see how Convection normally is the go-to in the amateur games and Hero League, whereas in competitive it is very seldomly picked?
Yeah, it is interesting. Convection, I guess, it's just people like the normal damage. Not everyone's as on micro point in Hero League games and in quick match and stuff like that than they are in professional games to dodge the Flame Strike. Speaking of dodging the Flame Strike, Noob can't do it because he's in a Gravity Lapse and gets killed off.
I think it's safe to say that even if Malfurion had been there, he would have still died, because there was no way he would have gotten out there in time. The stun chain was too strong, and yeah.
Yeah, now doesn't have cleanse anymore. You get stunned, you are staying in that stun with this particular composition. So we are seeing KT grabbing out the Punisher here, looking to try and put some pressure onto the top lane. Falstad even rotating, thinking about rotating, still soaking mid for the moment.
I think the Dahaka could have maybe... Okay, where's the Dahaka and Greyman going? I think they're trying to intercept the Falstad maybe. But
I have to Falstad rotating to bot to soak as much XP as possible, and this global soak that Falstad has been putting off, and quite frankly, Dahaka has not been able to equal, which is quite surprising.
Yeah.
Bringing KT not only back into the game, but giving them that small lead.
I gotta say, I would have loved to see SOA go for the bottom push instead. They could have easily gotten that forward, which is already severely weakened. Instead, they just tried to linger close to the shrine area, maybe getting a kill, but it resulted in them not getting anything done, right? So they played the map so beautifully yesterday and the day before. I would have really liked them to put some emphasis on other structures while the enemies were doing the Punisher. And I think that might be a variant taunt. No. That would have been a nice combo there, maybe. But sorry for the spikes, by the way. Sorry for the freezes, guys. Yeah, nothing we can have an impact on.
Yep, it's all from the other side, unfortunately, either from Twitch or from the Chinese side, so we can't do anything about it except cast through it, because that's our job.
Yes, sir.
SOA continue to go on the defense, clearing out the lanes, keeping themselves safe as much as they can.
All right, not a tremendous lead for KT, but a lead nonetheless. And if they can carry that all the way to 16, they're going to be once again in a really good spot. And SparkBZ, he's having none of it. 4-man stun twice in a row, but a beautiful gust to say no to that onslaught. Really, really well done.
Lovely indeed. And now it looks like we have a tiny bit of time. What's your delay at, since we've had a lot of spikes? Let's see if we're still kind of synced.
Okay, I'm going to double check real quick here. I am currently sitting at 8 seconds still. There we go.
I'm a 7, so we're reasonable. I will just slow my my roll a bit and not try. Don't
overdo it though.
I won't overdo it. It's all good. As we do see SOA continue to just pick out mercenaries, soak around the map, and play it safe as the mercenaries cleared up very slowly by KT. Enjoy KT, just he's long range wave clear.
Exactly. Now Tank Ovo trying to go for the race car gank here. Going in from the flank. A new break from the other side. Curse bullet hits. Butcher dropping low. But no kill this time around for SOA. Still a nice attempt.
Yeah, Butcher surviving this time as Falstad assisting on clearing out the wave as best as he can before moving back to top and continuing to keep his team ahead in XP by continuing this lovely split push.
Yeah, kudos to Butcher, by the way, for not panicking and not using the Army of the Dead. He was remaining calm and collected, and he did not push the button, which allows him to have way more impact in future teamfights. That's actually a really, really nice thing to observe, how certain pro players, they will always assess the situation correctly. They will not preemptively, prematurely trigger their abilities, and that's definitely the difference between like a really good tank player and just a good tank player.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. As SparkBZ pulling out of danger there, doesn't want to get himself caught out, and retreating away from the roaming band of marauders that is KT. As seeing, still looking for the opportunity to siege onto this objective as it does spawn, and it's going to be activated by KT. They are willing to fight here as they are about to hit 17. So it'll be a talent difference, but it's going to be a bit of damage difference. It's a good drag to Haka from behind on the T-Die, and he is silence and focus down. Beautiful execution there by Tank Ovo.
That was exactly the target they needed to go for. Tank Ovo with the big money flank, getting that Rhaegar who cannot self-cleanse and self-ancestral him anymore. And without the support, KT is on the back foot here. Beautifully done. Also, the immediate follow-up by Anubrak and Greymane really sealed the deal here. Perfectly done by SOA, and this is going to net them another Punisher. And it is a purple one. It is an arcane one, the most dangerous of them all.
Yes, it is. They're going to be able to push in with this. There's no fort to defend against it. So they're unlikely going to be able to end the game off it at this stage. But it's going to be a great catalyst to try and bring themselves back in terms of XP. And very similar to Falstad, Dahaka's split soaking. He's getting XP in the top players. So both these teams just racing for that level 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, channel your energy for that purple Punisher, because if SOA wins the game of that, we're going to see the trailer. Pretty sure we're going to see a lot of Bless RNG in the chat right now, but let's see. Already the defense for KT is looking solid.
Shield wall holding the Punisher. The front wall, it will get absolutely decimated. Greymane finishes his cocktail quest, and that push is over, but it's enough. Front wall is done. It's more vulnerable. Next Punisher in that lane is going to be good. If they are able to win a full team fight, they can push in this lane. SOA have opened up an avenue.
Exactly. They paved the way for future pushes. It was not meant to be the keep this time around, but it's now going to be a race to 20. That's definitely going to be something that both teams want to achieve. And soaking is of the utmost importance. Maybe laying an ambush every now and then to catch someone off guard. But for KT, other than Rhaegar, I think it's really hard to catch anyone. Varian extremely tanky, Arthur's extremely tanky. So they really need to reach the backline just like they did before. Well, they go for Varian.
They go for Varian. Ancestral keeps him alive, though. Triple protected, and Ancestral, you want to kill the Crown Prince. You cannot do so. Sorry, King. Sorry.
The High King, my friend.
The High King, yes. I'm getting my royalty mixed up. It's all good. Falstad, by the way, has
did you just teaser Anduin, who was the Crown Prince for a long time?
Oh God, don't start this again. We're teasing the chat too much as the flame strikes. Clear it up.
Here's all the storms. Tabloid #1 once again online. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yesterday was unheard of.
We are the best tabloid. Yeah. We are the best. As we see KT clearing up the mercenary camp in the top lane, getting rid of that fallen shaman, while the rest of SOA are just splitting in two lanes, soaking mid lane and clearing out the bot lane.
Exactly. And this game is getting very, very tense right now, Tetra. I have no idea who's going to make it. I think SOA, they still have a massive advantage. Like, the Ancestral Healing is going to be on cooldown for another 35 seconds, and that's why they're patiently setting up a trap here. They see the Varian, thanks to the cocktail that exploded. Shy in trouble, though. Doesn't get locked down, though. Whew.
Yeah, Shy able to get out of dodge there. Doesn't get killed off thanks to that razor swipe dash, getting himself out of range. These two teams, even on experience, at level 19 hit a couple seconds earlier for KT here, thanks to Farsight soaking that bot lane, but it's hit very quickly afterwards by SOA, as Dahaka will arrive in that top lane, soaking up there as well. I doubt either of these teams will get 20, but I get the feeling what we're going to see here is a 19 versus 19 team fight, and the winning team may just win the game of level 20.
Yeah. It is China after all. They're not afraid to go for those team fights, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to wait until either of the team hits 20. Dahaka cannot afford to come late. There we go. Brush Circle from behind.
He's looking for the angle. We're seeing T-Die is the one in danger. The huge engage onto Varian. He's silenced. He can't shield wall. There we go. Shield wall's available. Gus trying to disengage from it. Ancestral keeping Neptune alive as KT are wrapping around. The objective is pretty even, but a small lead being gained here by SOA as they have position on the point. As Butcher moves in, Root does not land, but Neptune does. Onto Dahaka the burrow, keeping him alive though, as huge damage is dropped coming in. Faye being forced to pull back. No Twilight Dream available, and Tank Ovo, Tank Ovo is still alive in the background, keeping himself
they get the Punisher,
alive
though.
here. They do get the Punisher. It's a one fight and a lost Punisher. So now, what are KT going to do with this? Looks like they're going to pick themselves up another kill, finding Greymane.
That was huge for KT. They got 2 kills. Their front line was holding strong. It never backed down. Arthas and Varian, what are you going to do about those two? A perfect Ancestral as well to keep Varian in the fight. And SOA, they started off with a good engage, good cocoon, strong damage, but in the end, it was not enough. I want to highlight Uncle G's performance on that Tychus 2, by the way. He dodged so many skill shots. It was crazy. If he had gotten caught by that Root, he would have certainly died. But in the end, it was not enough. KT, they're trying to defend this Punisher still. You know, you don't want to lose any towers unnecessarily. But once again, the game is getting stalled out, and 20 just in reach for SOA.
Yeah, both teams going to be level 20. KT already there. The Anti-Magic Shell, Epic Mount, the upgraded Taunt, the extra range on the Flame Strike, which would have helped so much in that last fight if it had been available. And Storm Shield for Rhaegar. Whereas finally, level 20 available for SOA, they've got that big red button. Such a good sieging tool. Hunter's Blunderbuss, the extra... I believe that talent is called Contagion.
It is.
Excellent. The spreading isolation for Dahaka. Very similar to the newest hero to the Nexus, which will be available, I believe, next week in China, Stukov. When he is actually available to play. No. Engagement onto Greymane. Can they finish him? No support is even close to him. And they're able to finish him off. Fury flying behind the wall, dropping some damage up to Uncle G, but not able to get the correct angle for that Mighty Gust.
Oh boy, the story of this series. Shy getting caught a little bit too deep in, and this is a little bit problematic now. SOA should be able to defend the core. I don't think they're going to lose the game off that, unless they stagger deaths even more. But it's a long period of time until Shy comes back. That is the main damage dealer next to Uncle G. They cannot afford to lose too much of this. Tank Ovo in the top lane on that Dahaka. He's trying to distract them, trying to force them back maybe. But KT, they're determined, they're on the warpath, and they want this keep right now.
They are. They're putting the pressure on. Down goes the fountain as the keep begins to take damage. This is the joy of Flamethrower from Kael'thas. As long as they can hold the position without getting hard engaged on, they can siege it down. Down goes the tower as the keep begins to get worked on. In the meantime, all the other lanes are actually pushed up for SOA, and the objective is beginning to spawn in the mid lane, and that is time for KT to abandon this keep, because they now have it already down to half health. All they need to do is to take position on the objective and hold that position, win the objective and push in mid without having anyone die, and they're in a great position to try and win the game.
They need to check every single bush right now, and Faye is doing exactly that with the Moonfire, because KT, they're setting up an ambush. They really want to prevent SOA from entering, and this is all in or nothing right now. The next team fight is definitely going to decide the end of the game.
Potentially, unless we only see like one person die. Flame Strike scouts out Spark as he looks for Arthas. The anti-magic shell is activated, and Arthas taking huge amounts of damage, but he's silenced. He can't get a huge amount of his own self-healing in as the Gust slightly disengages, giving Butcher the time to heal up as he wades forward through the point. But Uncle G getting some points already. He's dropping that big red button as the raid comes in from KT. They want to try and find someone. Uncle D could be the target. No, it's Tank Ovo again. Barrow keeps him alive, but Varian picking it up. That big red button doing good value, but Anub is in trouble. He's in full retreat. Neptune finds him, but the Cocoon keeps him alive. Bastard already down to the backline, but the damage onto Seeing, the big red button, too much from Uncle D. Seeing escapes, but it's a 2-for-1 currently in favor of KT. 3-for-1, and this could be it. They're chasing forward, looking for Uncle G. They will definitely get Faye.
Yeah, Faye, once again, he is going to fall. Varian is not letting go. He's like a terrier. Once he caught it. Yeah, oh my god. Once he catches up to his target, he's not letting go. They take a lot of damage from a regular Doge Bite. Ends the job. They took a lot of damage in the process, though. They might have to think twice about this. Okay.
They're going. They're going to be able to get the keep, and then they should get the objective. I'm not sure they can end the game. They maybe can. Okay, now they're healed. Yeah. Storm Shield's enough. They are moving on to the core, and that is going to be GG. And KT takes the game and the series in a 2-0, evening themselves up on points with SOA in the table.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner of this series. It is going to be KT. 3 points is what they gain out of this, and once again, they pull even in overall points to the straight-up rivals here, that is SOA. A very bitter pill for SOA to swallow. They really, really wanted to at least tie this series out. I gotta say, though, individual mistakes here and there really made all the difference. KT capitalized on those mercilessly and rightfully wins 3 points out of this.
Yeah, and could the smorking there be a sign of things to come? No, we're done with the teasing, because the teaser is coming up next, but well done to KT. They are one of the newest, they are one of the 2 new teams to HGC China, and they are showing up, moving themselves up the table into a lovely, comfortable 6th place.
Yeah, definitely gotta say.
Tied 6th and 7th.
Exactly. Gotta say, I'm very impressed. KT twice in a row. Rocking that Kalthas as well, making a lot of, or getting a lot of value from,
Just quickly, 6th, 7th, and 6th, 7th, and 5th are now all tied together.
Holy schmoly.
Hots Lady, SOA, and KT all on 10 points in the exact same position.
That's crazy. Yeah. Wow, the middle field is closer than ever before in HGC China. Now, I do want to say this, though. In that last team fight, Shy on the Greymane from SOA, he played like he had an Uther behind him. But when you have Malfrian as your backline support, you have to play things a little bit more slowly, because he's not going to have those huge chunks of burst healing like an Uther has or an Orly has. So I think SOA just didn't really play their team comp perfectly enough, and Shy in particular looked extremely wonky today in both games.
Yeah, I would agree. SOA looking a little bit shaky today. KT, though, they were looking strong. They did some very nice plays. I'm liking the Kalthas being brought in by them as well. And there is Butcher getting MVP. Did a great job tanking through all of those engagements.
Yeah, really, really well played here on that Arthas. The front line in general, the Arthas plus Varian just seemed to be indomitable. There was nowhere near enough damage by SOA to really threaten them. Really, really hard to punch through that front line. And the one time, or twice, 3 times maybe, when they looked good in team fights was when Tank Ovo got the flank into the backline, and they capitalized on that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, Tetra and I have no idea what the exact procedure is going to look like, whether we're just going to see it right now, or...
We have no idea. We have lots of rumors. We have no idea. All we know is teaser. And I believe we also still have game stats to appear first before we head to a break. Look at 365. That smug little face is like, I started all this. This is my fault.
Yeah, 365, the left-hand commentator, by the way, he's the one who posted it on the Chinese social media. He was like, yeah, tomorrow we might see something.
Wei Bao or Wei Bu, apparently. I've learned the pronunciation is.
Okay.
Wei Bao. Nice.
Seems good. Seems good. Sounds like a name I would give to a panda. Like if I had to name a panda, I would call him Wei Bao.
Yeah, would make sense. I believe that's their national animal. I'm not 100% sure. You can see the predictions. Wrong. 365, though, is correct.
Oh, nice. I like it. Oh my god, he was the only one who predicted it correctly.
365, outplayed. Nicely done.
I call it scripted. He definitely knows more than we do.
Look, if to steal a wrestling quote here, it's not scripted, it's predetermined. But no, KT just playing very, very nicely there.
Absolutely, and that actually gives them a lot of points for the internal caster prediction bet they've got going on. I think
Which we're sure they have.
Yeah, there was one. I think on Monday
was.
you could see the overall standings.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that.
I think
That's
it was
cool.
in the pre-show that was not shown in our studio. Oh! Is that it?
Oh,
What?
I think that's it. I think that's it. Enjoy, lads. Enjoy.
What?
I guess that's the teaser.
Show us a video. A
Nope,
a
that's
GIF
it.
at least.
That's it. That's the teaser.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's the Dark Portal, and that could
It's
mean
the Dark
absolutely
Portal.
anything.
Yeah, it could be the Dreadeye. It could be a Gul'dan again from the chat. Kill Jaden. It could be any of the orcs. Garrosh. It could be. Who else could it be? Literally anyone. Any of the Dreadeye. Could be Khadgar for his failure to shut the Dark
Yeah.
Portal for good over and over again.
True. It could be literally any orc. It could be a Draenei, like Vindicator Marad stepping through it. I think he was the first one to actually enter it back in the days.
Yeah, Ner'zhul. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like
Ner'zhul.
that.
I like it.
Oh, we're going in. We're going in. There's a shadow in there. Spooky.
Ooh.
Who is that shadow, guys?
Oh, it could also be a
Really?
demon, though. It could be Kill Jaden.
Yeah.
Someone along those lines. Why are they zooming in on that portal straight up? Is there...
Because there is a shadow in it. Can you not see it?
Yeah,
there is a shadow
yeah,
with
okay.
eyes.
Yeah.
It is a silhouette.
Oh, yeah, it's in the bottom. Do you see those two green
Oh,
eyes? It's
We must go deeper.
the two green eyes in the bottom here. Do you
Yeah,
see it?
exactly.
Like over
See?
here?
Yeah.
Oh, that look... Okay, you know what that looks like?
What does that look like?
That looks like a night elf. And...
No,
green,
it's not got the ears.
green eyes plus night elf. Look it up,
I think
guys.
the eyes are just to show. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, this is our teaser. Come on, are we gonna go
boy.
deeper? Oh, we didn't go one layer deeper. I wanted to go deeper. We must go deeper, Leo. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your investigations right now. Unleash your full online detective potential and make us proud. Tweet at us, at Thatcher, at Kendrick Swish. Let us know who you think is going to be the next hero. Judging from what you've seen, the Dark Portal, an ominous, shadowy figure with green glowing eyes. I just can't tell. I have no idea.
I do have an idea, but either way, I'm excited to see the speculations, and it will all be good. For now, though, guys. Oh, someone did just quickly. Go to your Twitter and look for a tweet by Draconi. It actually happened.
Okay, oh my god, someone made the undead protest dragon a thing. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Draconi. Oh god, I'm gonna have to show it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, behold the ultimate nightmare creature. Well, I'm just switching themes. Okay, there we go. The undead Protoss dragon resurrected from the dead, holding Gorehowl. That is going to be our next dragon. Draconi, you are an absolute hero. I love it.